And we are live for another Biddle.
Yay.
With Matt having a new microphone.
Matt does have a new microphone.
So what is it, Matt?
I got a Marantz Professional MGM U2000, I think it was the actual model.
Nice.
I think I spent $47 on it, give or take.
Are you kidding me?
So, no, definitely not.
Wow, is that a good sounding mic for $47?
Yeah, no kidding.
So, well, the thing is, I looked at some reviews for this. It's supposedly like more meant for instruments and vocals and stuff. And I was like, oh, that would be good for video and podcasting and whatnot.
Right?
Why not?
How much was the arm, or did the arm come with it for the 47?
I already had the arm. The arm I already had.
Okay.
It actually came with a shock mount and all that stuff, though. So it came with like big, microphone.
All for
casing.
$47?
Yeah, all for $47.
The shock mount and everything?
Yeah.
That is so wrong.
Flash sale on woot.com, man.
It puts Michael's.
I didn't get no Telegram message saying that there was this flash sale on this cool mic.
Well, I figured you already had the Blue Yeti, so I mean,
Yeah, but for that kind of money, you can always use the backup, for crying out loud.
Touche. Then again, in my situation, my Blue Yeti's one of the first gen ones. I still use micro USB. Mini USB on mine. That's how old mine is.
Oh my gosh.
Ancient.
First run model. I think it's 2000. I think I've had that thing since like 2011.
So, Rocco, I've hopped.
Colin,
Geez.
where have you hopped to, man?
Well, it's not in the Australian outback, that's for sure.
That's awesome.
Good one.
All right, so what have you hopped to? How's that?
I have hopped. KDE Neon was just starting to sort of annoy me a little bit. So,
That sounds familiar.
so I put on my main system the Ubuntu Budgie 1804 Beta 1. I'm just really liking that distro at the moment. It's just it's got everything I need without the complexities that KDE Neon has. And it's good that it's got all that.
What did you say it was?
All the complexities. You made me say that word twice.
No. I mean the distro. What did you say it was?
Ubuntu Budgie.
Huh. That sounds really familiar. Huh.
I wonder why. Maybe because Rocco jumped to it.
Well, now that you say that, I might have.
Really? Are you on there as well?
I am
Wow.
not on the 1804 because this
Right.
is like a production machine and it's got to stay up. But
So was mine.
I am. Yeah, but yeah. No, no, I'm not that brave. It is the 1710 version. So
Right. Yeah, that's a good version as well anyway, 1710. I
Yep.
was running that for a bit.
So,
Well,
Rocco,
yeah.
my question is, how come that instead of elementary, like you were looking at?
if elementary was already on the 1804 base, I would have definitely switched to elementary. But some of the things it being on 1604, I have issues with working with, the modern hardware and stuff. So maybe in a couple months when it goes to the 1804 base, maybe I will when Juno comes out, because Juno's having some good updates in it.
So basically, sometime this summer, in other words.
Yeah, well, what I did was I tried out a couple different, ones that I thought, and I still have Ubuntu Mate on the NVMe drive because, that just always works. So I did try out like the regular Ubuntu, and I forget 2 others, I think. And there's Michael.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Michael.
Hello.
And Derek as well. I'm sorry, Derek slipped in here
Hi,
too.
Derek.
Hey,
Hi, Derek.
he's a ninja.
Yes. But anyway, I did try out a couple, and Ubuntu, even in the 1804 version, still has those issues with the gaming, because I was actually going to go back to Ubuntu and use the Gnome version, and because I like Gnome. But with the whole gaming issue where my screen pops down on the notifications, I can't handle that. So,
Understandable.
I tested Budgie out, and it's actually running pretty good. It looks beautiful. It's got awesome defaults on it, and I'm happy.
For the moment.
A happy camper.
At the moment.
At the moment.
You'll change in a week.
Wait, I was on Neon for what, almost a month, wasn't I? More than a month, wasn't I?
For 2.5 weeks. It was amazing.
It was.
It felt like a month.
It might have felt like a month.
Sounds like
I don't know how it was.
Wait, I'm pretty sure I did like
now?
3 or so episodes of Destination Linux on Neon.
Yeah, you
But
did.
that
it
could have
was-
been like
it was
15 days worth.
15 days felt like a week, and a week felt like 2 days. 2 days felt like 4 hours.
15 days, felt like 15 months.
There's at least 3 episodes of
Hey,
Destiny.
by the way, your
Yeah.
Marantz mic is $49 on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
With sensor, windscreen, shock mount, and tripod stand.
Yep.
Wow,
nice.
that's a good backup mic.
I think I'll have to get one as my first mic.
That's a good price.
I blew my
That's a
wire
good.
on a Raspberry Pi 3B B+.
Nice.
What are you going to do with it?
No,
I'm going to use it as an HTPC in the back room. It'll keep the grandkids from playing with the other computer that's back there. And you're in the middle of watching something, they push the button, shut it off. Or,
Nice.
yeah,
What did you say? It was a B plus.
B+, yeah.
The new.
You
the
got
new
it. You got a B plus.
B plus for effort.
I got B+. I don't know if it'll be 800, but B+. Yeah.
Just talking on the Ubuntu's at the moment, I've been installing some of the long-term supports and testing them out. I've noticed that none of the, down under here, there's no, the servers are not linked, so I had to change it to the main server because I was having huge problems updating. Is that normal that they do that at the moment? Or okay, all right.
The mirrors don't do anything that's beta. They don't care.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So yeah, I have to manually change it.
So there's there's tons of mirrors out around the world, but they don't adopt the packages until they become stable to be published.
I don't remember ever having to do that before, though, to be honest. Maybe I was lucky before, I don't know.
Well, I mean, there might be some mirrors might opt to do it anyway, but most of the time they don't.
Okay.
It's rare. Maybe the one that was doing it prior just decided to stop. So that's why you might not have noticed it before.
Sure.
Because there are probably there's like a couple hundred mirrors, and I think maybe 5 of them participate in the betas.
Okay. That makes
Or
sense.
just go to, what is it, cdimage.ubuntu.com?
Yeah, but that's he's talking about like having to update because he has to update everything. He'd have to go through every package for always there.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be somewhat slower depending on his network plus their server connections and stuff.
It's not too bad considering anyway, so it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So the main server I'm on, so it's all right.
Yeah, I mean the Ubuntu servers are pretty solid.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near me.
Now, the other thing,
they're pretty fine.
yeah. The other thing I've noticed is just installing the 1804 beta Ubuntu Budgie beta 1. What's going on with the flat packs at the moment? Because there was a website, and I'm not sure whether it was flathub.org/apps or flatpak.org/apps. I'm not sure which one it is, but all those commands have gone missing. They're not there anymore.
Yeah. FlatHub has changed their infrastructure.
Okay, all right.
They're doing a whole new rewrite of their website. So they're doing beta.flathub.org. That is, it's changing the way it looks and works, which is actually good because their old way was not good. Yeah. So it's a much better approach, and they are doing you can still get the commands. I think they're just kind of hidden under some JavaScript stuff.
Well, what I did was I clicked on one of the apps, and one of the apps was Telegram, and it just and when it downloaded, I double clicked the downloaded file, whatever that was, and it actually opened up in the software center. And then after that, I found Zoom in the Software Center as a Flatpak as well. So it wasn't there before. I don't know how I got it there. I must have fluked it. I have no idea how I did it. And this is a Flatpak I'm running now today, Zoom.
Nice.
So it seems that's what I was asking if my sound worked, because I wasn't sure whether it was going to be work. I thought I was going to have all sorts of problems today. So
well, Zoom, I think, has deb packages anyway. I know Telegram is in Debian SID. So
I'm trying to run as Flatpaks, and by the way, Michael, I'm running the Kdenlive app image, which I got from kdenlive.org, is it? I think it is. And yeah, because the last one I downloaded, you asked me, I think it was the from the app image itself, which is a beta version, right? So the other one, that's right. So the one from kdenlive.org is running pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, the beta one is very beta.
Yes, it is. Yes, I noticed that.
Or is it like still closer to alpha?
Well, I mean, everything that currently works in the beta works great. It's just a lot of things don't work.
Oh, okay.
So like they're rewriting so much of it, like the underlying core, that it is way better because they're adding multi-threading, they're adding all kinds of stuff. It's just they're still currently adding all of that. So I would say it's probably not production ready, but it's not like it's going to destroy things. But it will probably crash a bit. Yeah.
No, but the users do that on their own. I destroy things on my own when I'm in Kdenlive.
Imagine that.
Gee, I wonder why. I wonder how.
You're an adventurer. That's what it is.
I was going to say, something tells me Rocco kind of destroys stuff too.
I could do that really well, Matt.
No, you usually do that. It's usually why you have to hop distros.
Because you've trashed it so badly, you can't recover it.
No, Rocco just likes to rage quit.
Ooh.
Maybe.
That's actually the best time to distro hop is when you get so mad.
Yeah, because look, I can handle. We'll take KDE Neon. Okay, I love KDE. Okay,
you're done. That's it. Nothing else to say.
I love KDE, and then it just drives me insane with the little things here and the little things there, and it just
I can handle it by a pixel.
And I can handle it for a while. I can handle it for a little bit, and then a while, and after so much of it, it's just like, you know what? That's it. I'm done.
And on the flip side, doing what I did this past week, I had a perfectly good installation of Manjaro running, and I wiped it out and put Antix on here.
What did you do that for?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Impulse control.
You are definitely a DHA member. I'm just saying.
When I pointed this thing to the SID repos, it had over 1,100 updates.
Oh my gosh.
And then I tried to do a live stream shortly after that, and that was horrible.
Was that the one that was all of like 58 seconds? If I remember correctly.
The screen froze up. The computer had a hard lockup where I couldn't do anything, and I just kept streaming for an hour, and I couldn't do anything with my computer. So
he was legitimately streaming, and the UI was just frozen. It was great.
Awesome.
He's like, I don't know if this is working.
It sounds like something that would happen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It was great.
So, Michael,
here's
what did you
a
hop to?
shocker for all you guys. I actually tried on my Dell Venue Ubuntu 1804.
And?
I really like it.
Oh, nice.
And I really think it's snappier than Mate on that particular machine.
How dare you?
But I'm sorry. But I still love Mate. And I'm still using it right here. And then what I did was this morning, I put it on, I have my old MacBook Pro, which is like a Core 2 Duo type processor. And I put it on that. And even that seems to be a lot better. So I think for those lower specs or older machines, it really was working pretty well. I also figured out why Zoom wasn't working last week on Mate 1804 on that MacBook.
What was wrong?
The video card's really old. It's an NVIDIA, whatever, GeoForce, whatever it is.
That's probably
320.
Yeah.
Wow, that is old.
Yeah, because it's 2010. You know, I got it back in 2010.
That's like light years in computers.
Yeah. But the thing is, mechanically, the thing is fine. So I thought, well, so this morning I put Ubuntu on it, and it's running very nicely.
Nice.
Except Zoom doesn't work.
Right.
And I figured it out because it did work on the Venue because when this afternoon I played with it and it worked.
Nice.
Yeah. Remember when we were chatting before just to check your mic out?
Yeah.
And it worked on the Venue perfectly. So it's not a Zoom problem. It's not an Ubuntu problem. It was my hardware problem.
Hey, Matt, is that an XLR mic?
No.
Oh.
USB.
Nice.
What does it plug into, Matt?
USB.
USB? Okay.
Though I do think the actual.
Why don't you unplug it and show us?
Yeah, no. Hey, right there for you, Rocco. I believe the actual connection.
You're not using that Surface Pro, are you?
Yeah.
You just
Right
froze
now?
up for a second, Matt. It was hilarious.
You froze up literally when you said the connection. And then you connected.
Well, that was happening this afternoon earlier when he wanted to test the mic out and we're talking back and forth and he would like stop in the middle of a sentence or something.
Yeah, but
and then all of a
that's
sudden
gotta
he'd hear his
be.
voice go really fast.
I'm about to hit the place order button, and now I'm leery because
No, because that sounds like his connection rather than the mic. The mic wouldn't do that.
No, that's more
you think
the mic wouldn't stop his video. Yeah, his video
that's a
froze for a
connection.
couple seconds, so it wouldn't stop his video.
Okay, I placed the order. So
Okay.
Click.
Hey, why don't you guys send a link through the Zoom chat and I'll take a look at it because it looks really nice. So, Michael, what did you hop to this week? Oh, you didn't. Oh.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you.
Hey, I hopped to the Ubuntu podcast.
Yes, you did. Wait, I didn't change my name. Hold on, I gotta change my name. I gotta change my name.
To Shallow Rocco.
Yes. Before we go any further.
But I did hop to that's not true. It's still neon. Oh,
there's a big furry beast in front of you, Barb.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
More of our comic relief.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
What'd you say, Michael?
Why are you old?
I said Palm Pre.
Oh yeah, Palm Pre.
Palm Pre.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Best phone ever, except for the
Hoomer's
hardware.
waiting. Hoomer. He's here.
Hey, Huma.
That looks like it could be an XLR, so it could be both.
Did you
Hey,
put it
Hoomer.
in the chat?
Yeah, this is a both.
Hello. No,
I don't think.
Okay,
Oh, there you are.
he's got a voice.
Yeah.
It's unusual. Everybody's mic was working straight away tonight. Nobody had to.
Shh! Don't say anything.
Jinxed it.
Don't just let that thought out in the universe. You know that.
So the next person that's gonna join probably is gonna have mic issues.
Probably.
Well, it should be Zeb, producer Zeb.
Yeah, where is Zeb?
I don't know where he is. He must have fell asleep or something.
Yeah.
People, what is this sleep concept you speak of?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. So if I fall asleep halfway through the stream, you know what happened. Just saying.
No, because I don't know what this sleep concept is.
It's a form of his imagination.
So
It's because y'all stay up all night distro hopping and installing new stuff on your machines. Just stick with something for at least 6 months and you'll get some sleep.
Right.
Says the guy who
We should follow your example, huh?
says the guy who nuked and paved a perfectly working Manjaro install.
yeah.
I at least had a reason. I mean,
I had a reason. I was doing it for science. You know,
Oh,
it was for
of course you
research
were.
purposes.
Of course you were.
Some reason I just don't believe
were a
that,
trooper,
Derek.
though. You hung in there with that frozen stream the other day. I gotta give you credit for that.
It worked out. We were able to power off the machine and kill the stream. So,
Well, yeah, if you hold the power button for 10 seconds, of course you're going to power off the machine.
Yeah.
and I had people in that stream telling me how I needed to kill the stream. They're like, "Well, open it up HTOP and kill it." How am I going to open up HTOP and the thing is frozen?
You could have even opened a terminal. You could have even get out of the UI.
Right, exactly. I couldn't do anything. Like all these suggestions people were giving me were completely useless.
It was great. He's like, I have no idea what people are saying right now.
Because the chat was scrolling so fast, people are typing and the mouse wouldn't work. I couldn't scroll back to see what people said in the chat. So.
Last time I was here, I was using Arch Merge, I think. And
Yeah.
then I had some issues and I was thinking like, okay, it takes about a few hours to fix this, or I can use this situation to jump. And I have to send those. That's really interesting for 8 hours. And then I thought, okay, maybe Fedora is easier way, just a little bit smoother. And I went to Fedora, and now I'm on Fedora. And it's really nice. I hate the Gnome totally. I'm looking for i3 all the time. And
you're an i3 user? Oh no,
Oh, man.
not really, but I try to be. But anyways,
Wait,
we got
where's
another
Ryan?
Where's the other mentor?
Yeah,
I don't know.
no, but the
That'll bring him
situation
here.
I'm thinking that if I just had stayed in the CentOS, that might have been a good solution also with the i3.
Yeah, you went from very bleeding edge Arch to very stable CentOS, and then you tried everything in between. Yeah.
You know, I got to tell you something funny. I went to watch English Bob's stream today, and that's how I actually wound up on Michael's, because I didn't know he was running at first. The bell didn't come up right away. And I go to load it up, and the chat pops up. I've got a screenshot, but I don't know if you dare have me try it. But it says 500 internal server error. Underneath it, it says something went wrong. A team of highly trained monkeys has been dispatched to deal with the situation. If you see them, send information via text. Screenshots frighten them, but then there was a bunch of gibberish text underneath. And you know what's weird about that? Is I tried 3 different browsers and it did the same thing on his stream, but no other stream did that. And if I logged in, or I jumped to the stream without logging in, it was fine. It was only when I logged in that error message came up. So I screenshot it just in case nobody believed me. It's hilarious.
YouTube's been doing some weird stuff lately.
Yeah.
There's actually like an issue where I couldn't go to my subscriptions for like a day because it just wouldn't work.
Well, I was looking at stuff on Rhodesian Ridgebacks earlier, and it just like froze on me. And it said, sometimes it gave me some weird message about potential download problems. And I checked and everything was up. It was YouTube. It just went and buffered forever.
Well, there are sometimes the buffering can actually be done by an ISP because they can limit YouTube's usage, but typically
I'm not a
that
big
pops up because
YouTube
it's not an
person.
issue.
But his stream was playing fine. It's just the chat wouldn't work. And it was only his, because obviously I was in your chat right after that. So
that worked fine.
Do you guys hear or see me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, hear you.
We can't see you.
Yeah.
Oh, how?
It's because I made that comment.
Yeah,
But
you did it. Now we're going to have
because
video
The
problems.
mic does work, so that didn't jinx it
Yeah.
exactly. Just
That's
something
exactly
a
it.
little bit.
The mic's working.
He does have a point.
So if you're new to Zoom, just you go in the bottom left corner, and then you can open up the right where it says mute. There's an arrow next to it. You can pop that up and check and make sure you're on the right devices.
Well, somebody said in chat, and I can't find it right now, that they were on Linux Mint XFCE for a whole year.
Is it Sakis? Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, but I can't find out. I can't find his actual message.
I'm
about
looking at it right now. It says he's on for a whole year, and
Yeah.
Is there us? I don't know if it's a mispronunciation. There's us a reason for not distro hopping.
Hey, Rocco, have you ever run a distro for a year straight on one machine?
Well, I have. What are we at? We're in March now. I've been on Ubuntu
that's a good one.
before Christmas.
I had a Ubuntu for like 3 years, but I never used that machine at that time.
That would be the only way that the distro would stay on there for me if I didn't use it.
He forgot he had that machine somewhere.
Yep.
I can see you.
There we go.
What's going on, man?
Oh, there you are.
Hey, I'm working.
You are working.
So.
I think I was on Solus for 12 months, I think, at one stage.
Rocco was on Solus. You already know where I'm going with that one.
He was on Solus for 2 hours.
I was on Solus for a whole year. Or I was going to be. And then I wasn't.
I'm on. I've had Neon for 2 years. So
that's ridiculous.
I don't think you made
I was on Ubuntu Unity from when it came out until 1604, which then I went to Ubuntu Mate.
Yeah,
4 years.
Yeah.
Or,
and then I've been
years.
running Ubuntu Mate on the same machine now since 1604.
Yeah, it makes sense. Stick with what's working.
I was on Debian Sid for about 35 minutes.
Yeah, I was very close to doing the same thing, but you know what? I'm determined to stick it out. So
mine crashed because I did it for the stupidest time where I went to I had a system that was working perfectly in Arch, and then Arch updated something and destroyed stuff. I was like, Debian's not going to do that. Yeah, they are.
Wait. So you wanted a stable system, so you went with Debian unstable?
No. I didn't say I wanted stable. I said Debian's not going to be ridiculous and push me garbage that just absolutely breaks my system. They did it. They went above and beyond, and they did it worse than Arch. They made it. Arch made it where I could have fixed it, didn't care enough. Debian made it. It's so impressively bad it was unusable. Like,
I have made this comment before that I do think Arch-based and Gentoo-based distros tend to be more stable than Debian unstable for some reason. I always have more problems with Debian unstable.
That is so weird, dude.
Yeah.
And it's 6 a.m. here.
But they are saying unstable.
Yeah.
What was that?
Daylight savings, it's 6 a.m. Thank you.
6 a.m.? What are you doing up at 6 a.m.?
Because your stream is 6 a.m. for him.
Okay, all right.
It's your fault.
He had the notifications.
It's my fault. But Derek, you said you're on Antix?
Yeah, Antix.
Yeah, because Mike, wasn't it Zeb that was saying he had problems installing?
Yeah, he said he had problems with it. I think he fixed it somewhat with some driver issues, but for the most part, he said it was it did something I don't remember wasn't good. Is that helpful?
The one thing I found about
not even a little bit.
The thing with Antix is they're trying to be such a minimal distro. I mean, they take it to extremes. One of the things I noticed is the font rendering in Antix is just horrible. You know how Ubuntu and Manjaro and all these modern distros really patch that to where the font rendering is really nice, really clean. I had to install Infinality on this because I just could not stand to look at the fonts in it. It was like bad on your eyes. And it's just little nagging stuff like that. I guess they're trying to save on disk space, and they're really cutting the number of packages down on this thing.
But you didn't have no trouble with any drivers or anything like that? Nothing?
No. The video drivers are fine. I installed the NVIDIA drivers.
At least you didn't try installing Scion.
Yeah. And, of course, I'm running this on a desktop, so I haven't tried Wi-Fi on like a laptop. I don't know if I'd have any trouble with that.
Well, I'm almost positive he said something about the NVIDIA drivers.
Yeah, it was an NVIDIA driver thing. I think he said he fixed it, though, after a lot of troubleshooting. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, what did he say? He had to add the Jesse backports, maybe?
Yeah, Jesse backports for stuff. Yeah. But Jesse backports is confusing to me because he said that the distro uses 9.4 packages. But Jesse backports are backports for Wheezy, which is even older. And Jesse's already old.
Yeah, it's the old stable. That's the one that's like 4 years old now. Isn't
That's the one that's going EOL
Even
next
more
month.
than that. Like, I don't even understand why any distro would ever like, continue to be based on a if Debian says it's too old to continue maintaining, why are you basing it on that?
Yeah, the distro Bunsen Labs, they base theirs on Jesse, and I don't understand why they do that.
I mean, Jesse is at least somewhat understandable, but not really anyway. Because when the baseline of slow and out of date is Debian, and you base it on an older version of Debian, that's just excessive.
When your kernel version starts with 3, that's when you know you're running. You know?
Exactly.
That's pretty good indicator.
Yeah.
But I do like the I like what Antix
he
doing
left.
the open box stuff.
Oh no!
Yeah.
There he is. Okay, he's back.
Chicken.
He was in the waiting room and I didn't see him. What's going on, man?
Well, I'm in a car.
That's not.
You're in a car. What are you doing in a car, dude?
Well, I'm the designated driver tonight, so I figure I'm gonna come out here because there's too much smoke inside. So
Okay.
So you're no wonder you got a better connection. You're not on elementary tonight.
Shade.
I've never done the stream on elementary. I don't think I've done it on a computer since like the first 2.
Wow.
No,
So
that
you-
explains it.
Did you leave a club on a Saturday night to join the Big Daddy podcast?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That is dedication.
It says a lot about the podcast.
It's dedication. It's what it is.
Or that says a lot about the club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No offense, Rocco.
They allow you to
Whatever, Matt. Whatever.
still allowed to smoke in bars in America, right? Or not allowed to
It
smoke?
depends
in,
on the
in
state.
pubs?
Yeah, it
Oh,
varies.
does it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
By default,
pretty
it's
much.
not allowed, but then some of them have like.
It depends on the street.
Right.
Unless you live in New York State,
It
then
depends
you
on
can't.
the street.
They don't even want you to smoke on the street. In
But anyway, getting back to Linux.
Can you
So
smoke
on an
Linux?
Indian reservation, it doesn't like have those restrictions. So this is on an Indian reservation, so it's not like
Got you.
They make their own laws.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, what's all this hype about this memory leak for Gnome? What's going on?
it's bad.
It's a very simple problem that they're
Uh-oh.
working on. Okay, they're
It's
they're
a very
working on it.
simple but significant problem.
And it's an even
may take years to
easier.
fix.
It's an even easier, simple workaround. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
restart
so
your X server,
simple.
essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, how easy can it be when all you got to do is do Alt F2 and type in R and hit Enter? And
How
it's
easy
fixed.
does it have to be to fix
It's
your
fixed.
shell by restarting your shell?
Because you opened a menu too many times.
How else could it be?
Is that right? Is that what you got to do to fix it?
That is what you have to do: is restart the whole shell in order to
See,
do it.
Colin, it's simple. It's not this hard thing that everybody's making it out to be.
You know, if these kinds of things happen in another desktop environment, it would probably be big news. But because it's GNOME, this is just this is normal for them. I mean,
So you have the desktop shell, essentially all of GNOME running on one thread, and then you have a huge memory leak with GNOME. GNOME, you're doing real well right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because anything outside that memory, you go outside the memory leak, you crash.
Look, if you got 32 gigabytes of memory, you got nothing to worry about.
you guys got to look at the bright side. If GNOME 3 hadn't been such a total disaster, we would have never got Unity, Cinnamon, Budgie, Pantheon. I mean, we wouldn't have got all these other desktops.
Wait,
Like a phoenix rising from the ashes.
Exactly.
So
Cinnamon's
what desktops are we going to get now? You know, what new ones are going to pop up?
Well,
Matt
Budgie's
Lowry.
new technically.
Yeah,
so, and
I mean,
it's-
newer than.
and because that it was based on GTK3 and is no longer going to be, that is also another benefit of, the problems of GTK.
The chicken desktop environment.
Yeah. It does say something that they want to leave GTK behind and move to Qt. So that says a lot about the problems with GTK and GNOME.
I was gonna say I think it shows more of a problem with GNOME than specifically than GTK.
Yeah,
I mean GTK's got its own issues. Don't get me wrong, but
Pantheon is perfect. So
We know that though. That's without question.
Well, GTK is actually there's certain parts of GTK where a DE that is based on GTK has to pretend and tell GTK that it is GNOME. That is a fundamental design flaw.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those in GNOME. Wait.
Well, and that's how you see what I look at is if GNOME is such a, it's supposed to be more simplistic of a desktop. Why has it got so many more problems?
Because it was crappily designed. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it.
Matt, you just really down on this GNOME thing, brother.
Well, he has a point.
Shortcuts on the desktop.
He has a point, though. It started off on the wrong foot. I mean, those first few iterations of GNOME 3 were just so bad, and then you're constantly just trying to fix what was broken.
Okay, Rocco.
Well, that's when you just start over versus trying to put a Band-Aid on already cut.
That's where I'm getting to. Well, like I use a GNOME-based desktop. Sounds like X. So what's the alternative to GNOME, KDE? Because that sounds...
Amazing. You're correct.
Yeah.
It's a lot more stable, I would say.
Well, Chicken almost had it right. He said that Pantheon is perfect, but it would be perfect if it was on 1804 base rather than 1604. Then it might be perfect.
It will be in a few months.
I know.
It will be in a few months.
I know.
Hey, I've installed Pantheon on the daily live of Ubuntu. It works beautifully.
Really?
Worked?
I built it against the daily live.
Using the elementary PPA or what?
No, I built it from source.
Oh, that's a little bit too much involved for me.
You can use the PPA, but I chose to.
Hey, Chicken, how did that CSS scripting go to get your plank looking the way you want it?
Let me make one thing very clear to you, CSS is a terribly great thing.
No. Hold on. CSS is fantastic when you use it for what it was designed for on websites.
Exactly.
When you put it into other things, it's like, what you doing now? So, because I'm a CSS guru, so thank you.
A guru?
Guru.
A CSS guru.
Oh,
well, I've been using CSS for 10 years.
Well, you know what? I'm a CSS copy and paste guy.
Oh. I was making websites before there was CSS.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was.
Me too.
I remember when you tried to avoid using images in web pages because it was so slow on your 14.4K modems.
No, yeah, but if you're real lucky, you had 28.8.
Oh man! When it went from 14.4 to 28.8, that was like the biggest achievement ever in mankind.
I mean, who doesn't love the blinking text, dude?
You started at 2,400, right?
Oh my god! A little low. I'm having trouble hearing them.
2004 what?
That just
now JavaScript.
The modems. You started with 2,400.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But like, there's kind of like there's a sweet spot of the web, and it's like the web technology. The sweet spot for web technologies is the web.
No,
yeah. Okay. Sure.
But there is an exception. There's always an exception to every rule, and that exception is WebOS.
Michael's so excited about this whole WebOS thing. I mean, it's not even funny. Every other minute he's talking about WebOS.
Hey, does that count as a distro hop?
No,
that is ridiculous. I would never like just promote.
Yes, you would. Don't lie.
It's so amazing to have a mirror like built into the phone. Would you?
Now, Michael,
that works for you because you check your hair every 5 seconds, right?
No, I would never do that. That'd be ridiculous and rude. I do it through the camera, so that way it's.
He's doing it through the front-facing camera, of course, so he can,
Yeah, I'm doing it through my webcam. It's like every once in a while, I was like, the hair is slightly wrong. Okay, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah. I know how you feel,
that
mate.
problem, so
I know how you feel, Michael. Sympathise with you.
Yeah.
First, the pesky guy, Dark One, he forced my hand into buying a webcam. So.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I'll be coming to you guys in 1080p.
that's
nice.
He pushed me into a microphone tonight, so you must have that effect on people who buy electronics.
I'm just.
He just throws out links here and there.
I threw out no link. Actually, Joe was the one that.
Wait, Joe, you purchased that mic and you didn't use like either mine or Michael's Amazon affiliate link?
Oh.
What the?
Wait, you guys have it?
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
I can cancel the order, maybe.
No, don't worry about it.
And then reorder it.
But next time
they'll
you order
charge you
something
$10
from
more.
Amazon, you let me know. And
Go
I'll
to
send you an affiliate link.
tuxedo.com/Amazon.
Why haven't you told us about these Amazon affiliate links before? Why haven't we heard about this before?
Well, because I'm not gonna advertise it. I mean,
well, Michael.
That's Michael.
No. That's rude. But Rocco would never do that. I mean, that's just absurd.
Yeah, Rocco. We're talking about you though.
Oh, tuxedo.com/Amazon.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like Rocco doesn't need us to use the affiliate link because he makes all that money off of YouTube,
Yeah, I make a ton.
So if I get down
great YouTube money.
Wow.
I could retire.
He's making all that Linux YouTube money, living the dream.
He makes a ton of pennies every year.
Every year I get at least $1.
He's making hundreds of
Don't
pennies.
spend it all in one place.
Well, he spends it all on hard drives for all those distros that he's
That's
hopping
true.
on.
Carl Schneider in the house.
Carl. Oh, of course.
Oh, you jinxed him, Derek.
Yeah, see, there we go.
Everybody that's going to come in now is going to have issues.
I'm sorry, Carl.
Yep, we know who let that thought out in the universe.
This is why we can't have nice things, Derek.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yo.
Hi, Carl.
There you go, Carl.
What's
How's
happening,
everybody
brother?
doing? Not too much. How's everybody?
Yeah, good.
Doing good, man.
Oh, no more comic relief.
Rose is in the house, down in the chat.
So anyway, what I was saying was whoever brought up Linux Mint XFCE, but then there's this article about Cinnamon having some issues being slow.
Yeah.
That they finally recognized.
But that's
they've
always
been working on that, haven't they? They've been fixing that, haven't they? Yeah, I've seen
Cinnamon's always been kind of slow. I mean, it's never been a fast distro.
Well, it's never. Yeah, it was never meant for older machines or anything.
Right.
You have to have a decent machine to run it. But when I ran it, I didn't notice it because I had a decent machine, and it was almost like a cross between not as customizable, maybe easier than KDE, but more customizable than the other desktop environments.
That's probably why you didn't notice it was slow, is because you were coming from KDE to Cinnamon. They're kind of similar. And, no, I'm being for real though.
See, I think that's where Kubuntu or the KDE platform was. When we talked about being heavy, and you guys said, "Oh, we debunked that's heavy," but I think maybe it was termed wrong by saying heavy, but it just wasn't snappy either. You go to open something, it's like this. It almost seemed like it was just, I don't know, like it was red.
When I click a menu, I want it to open instantly.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Yeah, but that also
amazing
has to do with animations as well.
Yeah, it's just animation issue. There's a difference. This is like an actual test about speed. Is whether the speed is actually the lightness is there, whether it's speed or whether it's perceived speed. So there's a very big difference, and a lot of DEs don't consider their perceived speed. And somewhat, depending on the amount of animations, it's actually better to have animations versus not. But you have to make sure that the speed of the animation is in a sweet spot. Otherwise, it'll just be either too fast and be jarring, or too slow and be annoying. So what that sweet spot is,
if it's going
who knows?
Slow, you just gotta record it and then play it in fast forward.
Exactly.
Right.
Sure. It's perfect.
Now they just need to turn off the compositing by default and make the user enable it.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Says the guy who uses i3, Xmonad, every single window manager only possible.
I've never used i3.
i3 is
sorry,
super
OpenBox.
nice.
But I have used Xmonad, so that
Sorry,
qualifies.
OpenBox.
So why haven't you used i3?
I haven't got around to it yet. I'm going to take a look at it soon.
You're lacking in your Mensa.
Well, I expect to have a video on it like this week.
Awesome Window Manager is the next one. So
okay.
i3 is down the road.
All right.
Are you
Well,
going
I actually like
announce the announcement? Right, Michael?
Mm-hmm.
Announce the announcement.
Announce. Oh yeah,
that's hard.
Yeah, exactly. That is perfect. I'm going to be doing this. I'll let you know at some time when I'm going to try to do it.
Yeah.
That's more accurate to what I say.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm going to work on this. When are you going to do it? I'll tell you in a week when I get to it.
And then I'll
It'll
tell you
probably
in
be
another
wrong
week.
too.
And then I'll tell you in another week.
I told someone I'm working on this particular video, and I told them I'm going to have it done within the coming week. And I've said that 3 weeks in a row. And at this point, I just stopped talking.
Yeah.
Speaking of announcements, Derek, you're on the spot here now too, because you let it out in one of the chats that you're thinking about going to Mate or at least trying it, right? You said it.
I have said that, yeah.
Yeah, just like in the last day or so.
Yeah.
So
I may try Ubuntu Mate on physical hardware. So
Yeah.
when the 1804 comes out, I'll put it on something.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. I'm not scared of Ubuntu Mate. I mean, I mess with you and Toss about Ubuntu Mate because I say it's too stable for me. But that's of course just me fooling around.
Yeah.
Stable is nice.
Yeah, I like stable actually.
Stable is nice. Sometimes
Whatever.
boring, but it's nice.
I like things that I know when I update it, it's not going to like puke all over itself.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
That's a downer.
That's called adventure.
Yeah.
I don't mind change, but I don't like that kind of change. I like it when it's boring and it just works.
But it's boring.
But it's okay to be boring. It gives you more time to do other things and sit there futzing around with it.
You can be productive with things that are actually productive rather than keep building your own system.
Thank you. Yes, you understand. Somebody understands.
Why would you want to do that?
Wait. So we need to quit installing Arch? So no more Arch installs is what you're saying.
I'm not saying that you can't do it. I'm just saying productive. Arch is not typically an example of productiveness.
After that Antergos thing and debacle, forget it.
Which you can blame specifically on Ryan.
Right,
he's not here to defend.
Where is he?
He's not here to defend himself. You can't blame him.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
And then we'll doubly blame him next week.
Blame him.
Yes, we can. Okay, that was such a fight right there.
I tried, Michael.
Oh, come on. It would not be a complete biddle if I did not make fun of Ryan with him here or not.
Right. We miss him. Where is he?
I tried to defend him. I was overtaken.
I attempted for maybe 3 seconds. It's okay.
Michael's like, I tried. Kind of.
I didn't try.
Is there any other distro that has NVENC out of the box apart from Kubuntu?
Well, it's mainly just the newest versions of FFmpeg.
Yeah, but I thought MX17 had that. I thought Zeb had said that MX17 was working out of the box with NVENC.
It might.
Does.
Yeah, as long as the distro has one of the latest, like the last 3 versions of FFmpeg, it's going to have it by default. Because FFmpeg is now shipping it.
So it probably depends on what branch of Debian these distros are based on. What is MX based on? Is it based on testing?
I think it's stable and then has testing packages.
Okay.
Yes, it's got the alternative packages in the package installer thing there. So you can go to the back ports. You can go to unstable, is it, or something like that?
Yes, Sid.
And then the stable branch,
Yeah, by default, I think it's stable though.
Yeah, where's Dolphin at? He's usually in the chat, for crying out loud. Could ask him.
How dare you not be at my beck and call?
Yeah, what? Not my call. I didn't ask the question.
well, it is a Saturday night. He might be at the club partying, having a few drinks with the ladies.
What else would you have to do on a Saturday night?
Exactly.
You could be like Chicken, who enjoys
Would rather
Biddle
be
a
with
whole
us.
lot more.
There's nothing I would rather be doing right now.
I've been downloaded today like 1 gigs of updates, and right now I got some 500 megs of updates again. What the fuck is happening here?
Whoa!
Language.
He dropped the F-bomb. You can't do that.
Sorry. Can't do that.
Bleep. We got the bleep in here.
Where's the
got the
bleep?
flag.
You're gonna have to do the 7-second delay.
I was going to say I need a delay to do that.
Sorry.
You also have to blur out his mouth as he's saying it.
Yeah.
How they doing?
Rocco, you can afford. That's in our budget. Come on, man.
Yes, you're right. It is. Wait, we pay Zeb and Michael so much money that we can't afford nothing else.
I know. Zeb should be doing it right now.
He pulls a Stallman on us for crying out loud.
No.
I've never installed GNU/Linux.
Yeah, that.
What was that?
Oh, God.
That's Richard Stallman.
Richard Stallman.
So, I hate to be like boring and ask about a text editor, but Adam,
Vim? Oh, sorry.
Adam, like, what is the deal with Adam?
Emacs?
I don't know the deal with Adam. Well,
is there something like special about it?
It's a very nice clone of another one.
A clone of what?
Sublime Text.
I've never used Adam personally, but when I open it, I've noticed that it takes a few seconds for that thing to launch sometimes. So that puts me off right away when the text editor takes like 5 seconds to open. Not that 5 seconds is a long time.
It would make you feel like you're opening Notepad in Windows.
You type Vim in the terminal and it's there, though. I mean,
has anybody had the problem with it? I've had this with Adam in Gecko Linux. When I open it and then I go to open up a file, the file menu, it just comes up with a bunch of squares.
Oh, it's a font.
That's if you change your font, you'll probably see a difference.
Yeah, but why should I change my font? Why should I have to change my font?
I've seen that in some cases, like when I was running the I think Ryan.
It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah,
I was
design flaw. It's a design feature.
Map of Telegram, but when he was telling me that when he went to go open up something like a file in the file picker, it was just a bunch of squares. So I told him, well, I'm using the Ubuntu fonts. If you change those, you probably won't. And sure enough, changing the font meant that it worked. So it's probably not an issue with Adam or with Gecko Linux, but rather the font that it's using isn't like properly calling the correct characters. Like they're just not where they need to be.
It is definitely a combination of it's either Gecko Linux or it's Adam or a combination of both. Like it has to be one of those things because the font, it should be using whatever the default font is.
Right.
The only possible option is that there are certain characters that are not available in that font. But as far as the file menu goes, those shouldn't have. That should never happen. It should just be basic characters.
Yeah, it should be a font that. I mean, I think whatever that. I'd have to check to see what the default font is.
No, I've seen some graphical applications that have problems with bitmap fonts. You got to be careful with those sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's like the standard sans font. So
that should be okay then.
Yeah, because I don't change some certain things. I don't change, and that's usually one of them. I'll change the fonts for the window, the title pages and stuff like that, but not for the rest of it. Because I
think so. Here's the thing about Adam. It is essentially a clone of Sublime. It has a lot of the same features. It has, but the only reason it's really nice is if you're doing web stuff and you want to have a renderer, because Adam has a built-in web viewer, you can see directly without having to load the code. You can just look at what you're making, and it can also work with like a nice way of doing Markdown and have like a renderer. That's kind of cool. But there are some things that people don't like about Adam. more importantly, probably because Atom is the original, the origin of Electron.
Yeah, it's an Electron app.
No, it is Electron. It is the first app ever made with Electron because the people who made Electron made Atom.
That might be the problem with the fonts thing then. So it probably is Atom.
Yeah. By the way,
let's do that.
Atom and Electron are both made by GitHub.
Wow.
That I didn't realize.
And that would explain why it takes so long to open too, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes forever. It does.
Somewhat.
It takes a while.
Yeah. Somewhat. But
and when it gets uploaded, it takes forever just to download the upload.
If you guys just use Scratch, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yes, I know.
Well, actually, if Elementary used Scratch, well, they're not using that anymore.
No, they're not.
Funny enough, they're because like I think the entire text editor has like this huge like plugin functionality.
They're getting rid of Scratch.
No, they're
changing the name, aren't they?
Yeah, they're getting rid of it. They're getting rid of the Scratch concept. And they're making a whole new app from Scratch into code.
Is that from the start, Michael, or from scratch the scratch?
I don't know.
Are they making it from scratch or from scratch from the start?
It's from scratch.
I'm totally confused right now.
They're making
not that that's a hard thing, but still.
They're coding from scratch is what they're doing.
How many plain text editors do we really need? I mean,
well, this one's like not even text editor. They're converting Scratch into a code editor.
As much as I
so it's
like
an IDE or
Elementary,
it's like it's not really an IDE. It's more like it's
Notepad++.
Yeah,
kind of. Nano.
Nano.
That Scratch is really weird to use because there's no undo button in Scratch.
Control Z.
Really? So
you need to learn key binding. Okay.
Yeah, you need to learn your keyboard commands.
Just use Xmonad and you'll learn.
You'll learn it real quick.
If you want to know anything about Elementary, just ask Chicken. Okay.
Yes, I know. I can mess things up with key bindings. I like to actually physically see on my screen what I'm doing.
I can see that.
So, Chicken, what is it you're calling Elementary Play School? I believe.
Yeah, you keep saying Fisher Price, man. You got to read it right. It's Play School.
Same diff.
No, I love it though. I love it. You know, speaking of me loving things and being a great person, Rocco, have you been watching my videos? I made those for you, man. I made those for you.
You don't give me notifications anymore, dude.
Oh no, I think you turned them off. Actually,
no.
Sir, please.
I can go to that YouTube channel and share my screen and show you I have notifications on.
So you did click the bell?
I'm not sure why.
The bell.
The box is checked, but like notifications don't go out for some reason.
No, I don't get one notification from your channel, man.
I never get notifications for anything here lately. It seems like it's broken on YouTube.
It's broken. Of things I don't follow. That's great.
Yeah.
It's
YouTube be broken? No.
I get notifications for only certain channels. And certain channels I can go and I can see that I got the bell on and I don't get a notification for that one, but I get a notification for this one over here.
I tested it
turned off. The bell might be though, because sometimes it'll set to occasional notifications. So like every now and then it'll be like, hey, here's what happened.
So you got to click the bell, then you got to make sure when you click the bell, it goes to a different bell. So
right. Yeah.
Maybe it's part of those 10,000 employees they just hired to do the analyzing of YouTube, because all the takedowns of the videos that are demonetization,
Yeah, they need more people flagging videos.
Yeah, I tested something with YouTube. I turned off notifications for literally every channel that I have subscribed to. I still get notifications, but it's completely at random.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I turn on notifications and I don't get any. So,
you know what I started getting lately is because I have like the notifications turned on for the desktop. So when I open up Chromium rather, because I'm a good person, I'll get all these notifications.
Richard Stallman, thanks you.
Yeah, take it easy, Richard.
And then I'll see like 2 or 3 from channels I've never even heard from, and YouTube's like recommended for you, and like I can't turn that off because I'm not even subscribed to them, and there's no option to turn that specific notification type off. So
Speaking of, there's a question which you probably should answer because it's from Rose. It says, "Why did developers choose Epiphany as a web browser for elementary
design?"
Yeah,
the Epiphany web browser.
Yeah, she asked why did they choose that. Seeing as you're the elementary expert.
Well, I'm not entirely sure like their initial plans for it. I definitely know that a lot of people just end up getting rid of it anyway. But it works with the rest of the experience, right? The somewhat minimalism, simplicity.
What he's trying to say is he
right out of
picked
the
it for
box,
design reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, even though 99% of elementary users are going to install Firefox and Thunderbird, they want to go with Epiphany and Geary because it fits the design.
Hey, no! Don't talk about Geary that way. No.
No.
Don't
I hit a button there.
I tried to get
Derek. Don't mess with the Geary because they can't sort their emails and it really.
Michael, you stop it.
I didn't know this was a touchy subject. Let me forget I said that.
Gary's a really good email client. Just because you can't sort emails. Forget that. It's a really good
just
email
because you
client.
can't use it like an email client doesn't mean.
But see,
How dare you want to have a
Elementary's version of Geary, or their forked version, or however you want to say it, is actually nicer than Geary.
It is.
Well, and I tried to get that version on Budgie here, but I couldn't get it.
Well, the reason it's
I
weird.
can hook you up, Rocco. I can hook you up.
You got to hook me up, dude, because I really would like to use that version.
Well, Geary was created by Yorba, and Yorba made both Geary and Shotwell, abandoned both of them, and Gnome, they forked Geary and Shotwell, and Elementary forked Geary. So they became 2 at the same time. So it's more like to try to save
I
Geary.
really want to like Shotwell, but it doesn't support GIF.
Doesn't support what?
GIF.
Oh, that's just that's unacceptable.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've got way too many GIFs in my library, man. I've got cheese memes. I've got chicken GIFs.
I got chicken memes.
Well, NAS for that, right?
Along that same line, I'm having one issue, and it's a minor complaint here with.
You say
Budgie.
that, Rocco. Tell us how you really feel.
It's a minor issue, but it's an annoying issue. Okay, because
it starts.
Well, there's 2 things. One with Telegram.
Oh,
there's 2
so
things.
one issue becomes 2 things.
No, the one is not Budgie's problem. The one is a Telegram problem. The one is a Budgie problem. Okay, so the first part is I no longer have a Telegram icon in the system tray. It's like an icon that looks like it's a blank icon. So you don't get a Telegram icon. Okay,
if you edit, are you using the Telegram version like from the website where you just run it?
No, I think this is the Snap version.
Oh, okay. Then I can't help you. The Snap's just I can't do that.
You know, you probably should just install a different operating system. Just go ahead and distro.
Probably.
Yeah, there you go.
He's trying to find
that one icon is off and it's killing. No. And the other issue that I'm having with Telegram, if you save anything from Telegram, like you save as, what I have done with my system now, I have a data drive, like Colin had suggested before, where I have a data drive and then I symlink to my documents and my downloads and all that. But Telegram won't specifically Telegram won't allow me to save anything to my downloads folder because it's a symlink.
But it's a Snap, isn't it? I think that might be the problem. The Snap version is like a super pain in the butt with that.
Yeah, because like Firefox and browsers don't have a problem downloading files to that, and yet
I think those
Telegram
ones are
won't.
set to like specifically follow certain rules, especially with downloaded files. So like a lot of work went into the Firefox one to make that kind of functionality not be completely crippled.
No, it's totally possible to do with Snaps.
No, it is, but I was just saying like they aren't doing it in all of them.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're saying that it was a lot of work to do it. I'm saying it's not a lot of work because snaps have that functionality built into it.
To what they did.
They just have to take into consideration to have it there. If they didn't take that into consideration, then it wouldn't work, unfortunately. So like,
Rocco,
if they're not even like expecting it to be done.
I've just opened my Telegram in 1804 and it's in the system tray and that's the Flatpak. So maybe it's just a 1710 thing.
The problem I have with the Flatpak is that you know how with a Telegram you have it open, you can open the Telegram from the launcher and it'll just open the window that's already there. With the Flatpak, it'll actually relaunch Telegram.
You mean say that again? When you close it?
With the so normally you know how you can open Telegram, say if it's in the background.
Yes.
You can click on the launcher and it'll just open the window.
Right.
With the Flatpak version, it won't do that. It'll actually restart Telegram.
Well, I have an issue with, and not specifically on Budgie, but in the last couple distros that I've been on the Snap version of Discord, where if I right-click on the system tray icon and then I hit quit, it closes it and it opens it back up immediately.
It does on mine too. Yeah.
For whatever reason.
It did that on Manjaro. It does that on Antix too. And
it's actually a Discord problem. So like it happens even I think it is only just the Snap, but I've seen Discord do it in other cases. So like Discord has like 2 instances running together. I'm not quite sure like what they're doing with that or how. But so when you close one, the other's supposed to go with it. But like
it's not a Snap problem because I can't use snaps on Antix because System D is not installed on Antix.
Yeah. It is a Discord thing. Like I've had this happen with the Deb and whatnot.
So I installed from the .deb and it's still the same problem.
What are you trying to save, Rock? Are you like right-clicking an image or something, or what are you trying to do?
For Telegram?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you see an image that somebody sent to you, like Carl sent me an icon for the channel, and I right-click and hit Save As, and I try to save it to a sim-linked location, it does nothing. It goes away like it should have saved it, but there's nothing there. It doesn't actually download anything. But yet, if I save it to a local folder, like say my desktop folder that I don't use, which is in the home folder, it goes right to it.
Yeah, my data's not showing up on here either, actually, now that you say that. I'm trying to save an image and it's not finding my data drive.
See, as I'm going through this now, I'm remembering little things, and there is one more little thing with
Uh-oh. Yeah, here we go.
When I open the Software Center, it has a little error at the top that says, sorry, something went wrong. And that's it. And it doesn't crash. It doesn't like stop working. It just pops up that little box that says, sorry, something went wrong.
Is this the Software Center in Ubuntu Budgie?
Yeah.
Is it the Gnome Software Center?
I believe it is, yeah.
That's been happening since 1710. I think actually since late.
I think it's
yeah, it is.
Something went wrong.
Probably something trying to connect in the background. Like say it's trying to connect to a mirror and it just doesn't connect. That might be an error from that.
I think it's time for me to distro hop.
Yeah.
Too many problems.
It's all those little nitty problems.
It took 5 seconds instead of 4 seconds to boot today. You can pay.
There's a pixel out of place.
You got to drag
Sounds
the
good, Michael.
and it takes you 10 minutes to get to the arrow to the corner to try to drag the thing. I don't know, but it's annoying. I'm not going to hop because of it.
Anna in the chat said, just add. We were talking about the notification bells before. She said, just add their YouTube channel to your web browser bookmarks and check them manually. No need for annoying notifications. But the problem is when you have like 300 and some people you're subscribed to, you're not going to go, look through each individual channel.
There is a solution that's dirtier.
Yeah, sure. Especially on Gnome, huh? Be out of memory in 2 seconds.
No, you're bad.
How dare you have 2 tabs open?
I now got a big gray thing here. Come on.
Uh-oh.
I always
Uh-oh. Comic relief.
Instance, in order to like generate the little thumbnails for all the bookmarks, I'll right click and open all in tabs. In Firefox is all like, you are about to open 70 something tabs. Do you wish to continue? And I'm like, yes, I wouldn't have done that if I didn't.
Well, to be fair, a lot of people do open and they don't mean to. So it's a good, at least it's a good question to
That
ask.
is true. It would probably crash something horribly if the machine couldn't handle it.
Oh, on an older machine, yeah, it would definitely crash it. Yeah.
It would light itself on fire first.
I think it has a thing. If you have more than like 15, it asks you.
Really?
Speaking of YouTube, when you hit the like button, every time you hit a like button on a video, it piles up in your liked videos area. So don't you find that that's a little bit ridiculous? I mean,
no. So that lets you like come back to things that you liked, and you can actually set to whether that's public or private as well. So like whether other people can see it.
Right.
That's right. But why would you click now? You would like to click on a video that you like and say, yeah, I like that, but I don't necessarily want to come back to it, but I like the video. So that's why I find it.
That's really
weird.
like in the way or anything. Like it's not like it's just like out of the way kind of category. Like, and because you always have the option to unlike things as well.
But Colin, you're looking at this like really like, you know, try to like a sensible approach, you know, like you want to let them know that you liked their video, and YouTube's just trying to help you. They're trying to give you stuff that you like. Okay?
YouTube is your friend.
That's it.
YouTube is trying to get you the right ads that they're not giving to creators anymore.
I cuddle with my play button every night.
Take me away. Take me away.
YouTube is hashtag free hugs.
It's designed so when you want to have an opinion, it'll give it to you. That's all.
That's exactly right, Joe. You hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
Oh, God.
You know, but the thing is, you get a lot of YouTubers say, like, comment, and subscribe. You know, yeah, I'd like to like that, but I don't want a whole heap of videos sitting in my like videos folder.
No. They're saying smash that like button now.
Smash it.
That's the cool way of saying it now.
Physically punch your monitor.
Yep. Bam.
As somebody that's kind of new to the whole social media scene, you know, for years I refused to do Facebook and Twitter. The only reason I do it now is because of this YouTube channel I do. I will say that all of these social media sites, they need better UIs because some of them are just a mess. They're confusing to use. Twitter's not that bad. Facebook,
Twitter's great.
Well, I think some of it's. I think Facebook designs it almost that way.
Yeah.
So that you just like go down this rabbit hole and you never come back.
Yeah, you have no idea where you're at, what you're doing. Yeah.
I don't even have a Facebook account.
Facebook's like going into a casino. They're designed.
No.
For
YouTube's the same way when you're trying to play around with your YouTube settings. I mean, you get lost in this thing. And then half the time it takes you to Google Plus and everywhere else.
Yeah,
it's like, no, I just want to go to Creator Studio. I don't want to go to the.
You've been there too, huh?
Yeah.
But you would think these billion-dollar companies could design better UIs.
Yeah, but Google has their UIs are definitely not what I would call good-looking or easy
elementary
or anything.
OS development. That's the problem.
Rocco, the sad part though is Google does better UI design than Apple does now.
That's
Chicken, what's up with your name?
I don't know. Nothing. I didn't do that. I didn't put that there.
No.
So something about, did Rocco distro hop yet? Huh?
I'll tell you what they've done.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Can we turn the air on?
I'll tell you what they've done very well these days is they've done very well at concealing pop-ups. They used to pop up in front of you a couple of times at work. I think I use Windows 10 at work, and I go on websites and I print things off or whatever, and I think I cleared the cookies the other day for some reason, and I'm wondering where this page has gone. And the pop-up is just a little tiny thing now you don't see, and probably because I'm getting a bit old and all that. It makes you wonder what's going on. I'm sitting there waiting for the page to open up or the pop-up to open up, and it's not obvious anymore that there's a pop-up there, is it? They're well concealed, very well concealed these days.
No, as you said that you had like this non-existent size of window. I have had with Wayland because this Fedora comes with Wayland, this newest one. Some problems with some programs that the apps have been like super slim and small, and you can't just make them bigger. You have to do some fixing before it works. Maybe go back to Xorg and work it that way.
You got to take a screenshot and zoom in on it.
No, it doesn't work that way. Sorry.
Well, if you're in KDE, you could just, scroll.
And yeah, but it's like you just can't even you can move it, but you can't do anything else because you can't get the indication right.
You can do everything in Plasma.
So
you
Rocco.
can do too many things in Plasma.
Yeah.
Rocco, in April, you're going to switch to one of the official Ubuntu flavors. Then Fedora comes out in May. Is that when you hop to Fedora?
I have
June?
never run Fedora.
You're not missing anything.
Why not?
Never
I'm just
run
curious.
Fedora.
Why not?
Oh, Fedora.
I thought you liked GNOME. If you like GNOME, you should.
I tried it one time, and this was a long time ago, and I was having trouble getting something installed. I don't know if it was the Wi-Fi drivers or the NVIDIA drivers, one of them, and I just ended up. It wasn't worth the hassle to go through it all because there were so many other distros that were out there that just worked when you booted into them. So
if it was a few years ago, Wi-Fi drivers were a nightmare, but that was for every distro, really.
Rocco, 2 words for you though with Fedora: vanilla GNOME.
Yep.
Actually, Antergos has a really good version of GNOME.
They really do. They
memory thing is fixed. Like, I'd be all right trying it again.
The other 2 words. 1 week.
1 week.
I don't know. Without Wi-Fi, he probably wouldn't stay on Fedora 1 hour.
No, probably not.
Well, about 13 years ago, when I was looking for, I was having problems with my computer at the computer shop, and this guy mentioned something about Linux. So I went home and looked it up. Some guy sent me 2 discs in the mail. It was Knoppix and Red Hat. I think that's back when Red Hat used to be free, didn't it? So at some point, I think.
You can still get it free.
Yeah.
You can still get
way
it
back,
free.
yeah.
Yeah, way back.
Then when I moved from so when I moved from Melbourne to Perth, the owner of my company, his son was the IT guy. I told him I was into Linux, and he said, "Wow, so he gave me a disk. It was Fedora Core 6, right?
Oh, boy.
So that was the first Linux that I really tried, and I think back now, it's a ridiculous disk to give me when I didn't know much about Linux, to be honest, because I just struggled. I battled with that thing, but when I found Ubuntu, it was like, wow, this opened up a whole new plethora of things that things were just working in Ubuntu. Just battling with Fedora was a nightmare. I didn't know what I was doing. I was cutting and pasting all sorts of commands in the terminal.
Because Fedora didn't know what it was doing.
But it's not a bad distro, Fedora. It's just that they remain on the edge of free software, isn't it? That they
they're on the I don't know what we're doing edge. They're not bleeding edge. They're not stable. They're in the middle.
It is a testing ground. It's a testing ground for Red Hat and
but it's
Red
not,
Hat, yes.
It's not. There's tons of things that they do in Fedora that never goes to Red Hat. It is
because they don't work.
It's a playground.
So Derek, why do they use GNOME then?
Because Red Hat chooses to develop to get behind that project.
Yeah, but if they don't use things that don't work,
well, it works better than Fedora, I guess. If that's saying anything.
Oh, no.
You would probably be better in GNOME on Fedora than GNOME on most other distros, yeah.
I mean, it can be a bit. Fedora is one of those things like you got to add yourself to the wheel. If you got to add yourself to the wheel, which I think is a group. Is it groups or something? The wheel in Fedora.
The wheel group, yeah. You need to make your user part of that.
Yeah.
That happens by default now.
Does it?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I mean, it wasn't
Interesting.
that many years ago, Colin, when you first started in Linux. That was normal in every distro. You had to create your user. You had to add that user to whatever groups, the audio group, the video group, the wheel group, sudo, whatever.
Unless you used Ubuntu.
Ubuntu, that's why Ubuntu was Ubuntu, is because they solved all that for you.
It took many, many years for me to work
set my
out
system up.
all those things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to set my system up, and I want to only be able to hear it, right? I don't want to see anything. I don't want to do anything. I just want it to.
Right.
Solid method.
Yeah, but it's the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. You know, they want you to, you know.
That's my. I hate that idea because what they consider simple is not to other people.
They're talking about simple in terms of a different kind of simple. Yeah,
engineering is simple, so I don't have to do much as far as
simple does not equal easy. Simple. They're not talking about easy when they mention simple. Yeah,
right. But that's why they shouldn't use that word. That's why I don't like it.
Yeah, they're
Keep
really
it
saying
minimal.
minimal is what they mean. Simple means minimal, not easy.
They should go with just minimal.
Limited.
Yeah,
maybe limited.
Limited.
Well,
it's not limited. You can do all kinds of stuff, but you can do all kinds of stuff. They're not.
So
gonna.
isn't Corora the version? Well, not a version, but but the Fedora thing where everything's configured for you.
It is Linux meant for Fedora, basically. They take Fedora and they add all the niceness and goodness. They add extensions to Gnome and all the non-free stuff.
Yeah, turkey on Thanksgiving, and you inject it with like that weird gooey crap. That's Corora.
What? Corora adds RPM Fusion. Like Corora does add stuff that you're going to add anyway.
Yeah,
that's right.
Basically,
Exactly.
yeah.
It's done well. It's just a one-stop done for you.
Yeah, there's a few people that have said I should check out Corora, but I just haven't got around to it.
It's actually not bad.
It's worth looking at, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't that based in Australia, Corora? Is that right?
I think
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Come on, I'm being swarmed. I'm sorry. I'm being
Are you wearing
swarmed by
catnip
cats.
for perfume, Barb, or what?
Huh?
We see a
Can't
cat
tell me
popping
something,
up.
but it's tough on them. You know, my comic relief here. Come on, go.
Well, it's good that my dog is sleeping under the desk at the moment,
Oh, you're
not
so
looking at the
lucky.
screen.
And you just chased her off the desk?
I think the last time I really used Fedora was back at version 10. And actually, that's when they had, just a Gnome menu, I think, or something up in the taskbar. And it was, I actually liked it back then. But then again, what I know, I was pretty new to Linux back then, too. So.
And it looks like Colin was right. Corora is based out of Australia, the distro.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Hey.
Just hands. Yeah.
Well, I actually didn't realize this. Reading from Distro Watch, Corora was originally based on Gentoo before they based it on Fedora. Wow.
That's
a long time ago.
Correct.
Yeah, that's a big change there.
I don't like the Fedora installer. I'm not keen on their Fedora on their installer Fedora. It's a little bit different to everything else in the way it works. Sorry, chicken, I can't hear
I like
you.
it because it offers a lot. Sorry about that. I like it because it offers a lot of functionality. Like you can set up RAID easily in the installer. So
Right.
I've got about 7 disks in my machine. And typically, if I'm just toying around with something, I'll set up 2 or 3 of them in a RAID 0. So I just one there. It's
So you can do
super
that.
easy.
Oh yeah.
But for if you're doing just a regular installation, it's a little excessive.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. Something I like that Antergos does that I wish the Anaconda installer would do in Fedora is the option to use systemd boot instead of grub. That's something that's being worked on, but probably won't be here for another 3 years.
Which is actually kind of hilarious considering Red Hat makes Anaconda and Red Hat makes D.
Isn't that just funny?
It's like, yay. It's like you would imagine that they would have different departments of the same company would have conversations together.
It'd be amazing. That would be a concept. It's like doctors' offices. They all want the same information, but none of them will talk to each other.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's because they can't read each other's handwriting. Oh, damn.
Came back perfectly.
What is wrong with what's going on with Joe's screen? Why is his title changed here? His name.
Chicken ain't nothing but a bird.
Years ago, the guy used to say that. He goes, "Chicken ain't nothing but a bird." So I thought,
You ain't nothing but a bird, chicken.
Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
I was wondering how long it took.
Well, my name is Big Shallow Linux.
Yeah.
Because I was on Sudo Reboot's live stream a couple days ago, 2 days ago, and he was referring to the fact that every time he comes on or every time he watches this show, Biddle, we talk about all kinds of different things, but we will always bring up one topic that to him is completely frivolous, like he doesn't really care about, like, and he brought up the single click versus the double click conversation, and he was saying how shallow of a conversation, like how can you care about this stuff that's so shallow. And so
but guess where it started, right?
Now my name is Big Shallow Linux, just so you know.
I mean, we're not talking about the init system or the display server. We're talking about single click versus double click.
We're talking about
to bring up one
things.
time.
The risk with nicknames though is they stick, like Das Google.
You've actually converted one person, Rocco. You've converted one person
for
single click.
Yes, yeah, Paul.
Yep.
Yeah,
hey, look,
I don't want to really get into this conversation because Michael will get mad. See, he already left.
I think he's trying to avoid the aneurysm.
Michael had talked about it before that. That's what it was.
When we first had the conversation, I think it was about plasma and how it did that. And like
by default,
I thought you were joking when you were saying it was a good thing. And so like when you were like, no, I'm serious, I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And ever since then, not to mention that Elementary OS
is default.
Ever since then, I've been using single click.
The problem with single click and Plasma is not that they enable it by default. It's okay. I want to disable it. Where do I go? I assume since all the single clicking is done in Dolphin for the most part, it's a Dolphin setting. So I'm looking through all the Dolphin menus and trying to find where to tick this off. It's not there.
That would be too simple.
Yeah, that would make too much sense. So what do the Plasma guys do? They put it somewhere in some control center under some heading that doesn't make any sense for what it is.
It's got to be powerful.
Yeah.
And this was,
I have been complaining about the KDE settings and how disorganized they are forever. And they're just, even as much as they revamped the system settings, they're still not together. I mean, you would think, okay, so if I want to change my theme, I can go into the appearance section. But I can change everything there, except if I want to change the window borders. And then I have to go into a different area to change the window borders, which is part of my theme. Actually, part of the main part of the theme, because that's what you see on every window. And you would think that would be in with the appearance section, but like I said, I've been complaining about the system.
You know where you
for
wouldn't
years.
have this problem, Rocco?
In elementary?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. You can't change anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a control center because you can't change anything, like Barb said.
I looked
but
at the
in
live
elementary, you don't need to.
1 hour.
It's
and
so
that was
beautiful.
Yeah.
MX
you know what? I have a question for everybody here. Seriously, I have a question. This is a big if because it'll never happen, I don't think. If there was ever such a thing as the perfect distro with no glitches, everything absolutely the way you want it, would you ever hop again?
That would be boring.
Absolutely,
Joe.
you
no,
would.
I would stay
it's a valid question.
I wouldn't. I would definitely jump around, take a look at other things, but like it would always be in the back of my mind that this is never going to be as perfect as what I have. So
in your case, elementary.
Yeah, no, he's right though, because you go and you get a standard, and then you try to make everything else go by that standard. It's like I love GNOME, and now everything that I go to, I pretty much make that distro look like GNOME and act like GNOME, just because I like that workflow. Even when I'm on KDE, my KDE looks like GNOME.
That's why I said poor KDE.
How dare you?
Well, you know, actually, Rocco, that makes sense because
it does.
I was thinking about it this afternoon when I finally had Ubuntu set up on the venue, on the Dell venue. I realized how similar it was. I set it up so that I have the same workflow as I do with Mate.
Yep.
Yeah.
And and once I did that, I said, "Wow, this is great."
Well, because once you find something that you like, you wanna stay with it, and you know it's okay. So I was on GNOME, and then you go and say you install XFCE. Well, then for me the standard is, can I make it look and act like GNOME? And if I can't, well, I don't want to be on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things when I look at a lot of these other distros, they don't. I'm looking at them as how do they compare to Mate?
Yes.
And if I can't get it to look the same way and behave the same way, and then I think to myself, then why do I even want to try? I'll just stick with what I've got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To answer Joe's question, I could be happy in anything. I don't have to distro hop. I'm cool with any distro, with any window manager practically.
Joe, he's lying. He's
lying.
I
if you gave me a distro with a certain desktop environment, said that's all I can run for the rest of my life, I'd be okay with it as long as it's not Windows. So.
What would it be, Derek?
It would need to be Debian 9, a minimal installation with OpenBox on it.
You tend to make everything look like as you want it.
Yeah.
Right. I think it comes down to the workflow that you're used to using. And, you know, that's comes back to what we've talked about over and over again. Like for me, even though there's some little quirks even in Mate, but it's not enough to make me change. But that doesn't mean I'm not curious about other distros. I was just thinking, we've never talked about the absolute perfect distro that didn't have any glitches or whatever. That's why I said it'll never happen, I don't think. But, where would that put you in a different place then? Because, it seems like it's always those little things that add up to enough that want to drive you into something else. But I do notice that I think you're right, because there's the common thread here, which I found myself, is that after a while, when you do find the perfect menu or the perfect workflow, originally I didn't care for the taskbar at the top. But now that I've decided to use, Hotkey, I really like it. I'm used to it because I've always been used to coming from Windows, like a lot of people did. I was always used to everything on the bottom, but now that I've gotten back used to this again, I absolutely love it. And you're right. You always tend to seem to want to make everything else fit what you like most. So
that's why we all need to step out of our comfort zone every now and then, try different things that we're not comfortable with. Like, just
Externos. Except Externos. That one is not.
One week we all just need to distro hop to something else, something we're not comfortable with. Rocco needs to go to Fedora with Gnome, and
wow,
I don't
know.
Back on the KDE Neon. So
then you go back to what you really like and you appreciate it more.
Exactly.
You can get Fedora with many different desktops, so it's not a problem. You don't need to stay with the.
Well, the desktop's not the
problem.
Fedora might be the problem.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
Well, I was trying Zorin OS.
Crazy about.
What do you think of Zorin, Colin?
Well, actually, it's out of the box. It's got a really good UI for the GNOME desktop. It has the SuperKey activities overview. It has a menu on the bottom left-hand corner, and it has a good search function like the GNOME has as well. So out of the box, it's not bad. I just don't like their themes and all that. I think their themes are a little bit odd, to be honest. But
yeah, I
that's
agree.
Contrasty.
I don't know. I think I've tried putting other themes on before, but I can't remember if they worked or not. But
they've got a god-awful ugly taskbar. You just I don't like that sharp corner. I don't know how. You're right. I shouldn't say god-awful.
Yeah, but it doesn't have that anymore, Joe. It doesn't have that taskbar anymore.
Oh, it doesn't. I haven't.
Not on the core system. Like when you download the core system, and that will be the GNOME version. It just has a regular flat taskbar, just like a Windows taskbar.
Yeah. I haven't. It goes show you. I haven't looked at it in a while. So
I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at their screenshots, and I mean, I realize everything's supposed to be flat icons, flat everything, but it just ick.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I just don't know what else to say.
You have to like that style of theme.
Yeah,
it's like $12, isn't it? Or is it like?
No, it's free.
I bought the premium one. Yeah, I bought the ultimate one to test out on my channel, and I want to say I paid $24 with it. Is what it costs with tax. It's not bad.
They listed as €20.
Yeah.
So Derek, from what I understand, the only difference between the ultimate or the paid version and the free version is the layout changer, correct?
Yeah, they include a little bit more options, a little bit more as far as software included, and they offer you support. I think 1 year support.
Oh, so they do have more.
They offer you support with the distro. Yeah.
Okay. So they do have more applications installed as well.
I believe so.
But there aren't anything more in there that you couldn't add yourself, is what it comes down to.
But he's right. There's more customization options. Like I think that animated GIF wallpaper thing is in there.
And it works very well. It seems to be very stable too.
Switch to Linux just made a video about Zorin as the newest one, if I remember right.
Well, they have the core version, which is like a GNOME version, and then the light version, which is XFCE.
Yeah, that's right.
And we all understand we are not normal.
Zorin seems like a great distro. I mean, other than the looks, I mean, I don't usually base things on the way they look too much, but just how it functions, it seems like it's a solid product.
I think people coming over from Windows would probably like it, like newer.
I think they would love it. I think they would love it. Yeah, it fits that Windows workflow, that whole Windows paradigm.
Certainly does, doesn't it?
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, because it has double click.
Yep.
It has double click.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's got.
I told you that's the first thing I change on any computer,
it's okay
including Windows.
It's okay if you change it. It shouldn't be default.
Hey, but when you change it, it needs to be in the file manager. That's where it needs to be.
Hey, don't
that's where it is in every other distro or computer. Even in Windows, it's in the file manager.
Right.
How dare you make a statement that I actually tried to look and see if I could find it and prove you wrong, and I couldn't, and then now it makes me look bad.
It's not in Dolphin. I looked everywhere in Dolphin.
It's not in Dolphin.
Actually, you know what distro I think looks most like
used to be in Dolphin though.
Box is Shell AOS. Now it's been a while since I've used it, but that one you could make look just like XP. I mean, you can make
that was very nice. Yeah, it was. But that's old though. That hasn't been updated in I don't know how long.
Yeah, and it's been a while since I used it. But when I tried it, when I first heard about it, it was really kind of cool. And like I said, it was probably the most, in my opinion, at that time, the most Windows identical as far as appearance and feel and all that. It was very simple to customize too. That way, that if you really wanted to really give it the XP menu button and all that stuff, it was cool.
The Feren OS has some good options too. Although it's a base of a base, which is a problem. I think Feren's looking at basing on Ubuntu.
Base of a base.
Yeah.
Because you got Debian, Ubuntu, Mint, and Feren.
Yeah, that's right. I'm pretty sure he's going to base on Ubuntu in the future, I think, and then maybe even go further than that. I'm not sure what he's
plans. He said he wanted to base on Debian, but he's still working on it.
Yeah.
So
that's right,
if he does base it on Debian, is he going to change it from like Cinnamon?
Yeah.
No, you can still use Debian and Debian.
Are PPAs going to work? I mean,
no, I mean I know you can. I'm just asking if he's going to change it.
He's been working on his own UI for a long time. It's called, I think, Zuro UI. And,
yeah, ZURO, yeah.
Yeah. So
what, something he created?
Yeah, and it looks really nice. And I'm hoping that once he bases on Debian and uses that, I reckon it'll be awesome distro, Feren OS. I'm looking forward to his changes. Yep.
Sakis just commented. He said that Feren OS is a RAM eater. I don't know. I haven't used it in a while. Do you know how resource intensive it is?
I don't. Well, the computers I use it on wouldn't probably notice it if it wasn't. If you're using an older computer, maybe you would. I'm not sure.
I've only ever used it in a VM, and I've got 16 gigs of RAM on my host machine, so I will always give the VM 6 or 8 gigs, so I wouldn't notice it either.
Yeah.
I haven't never tried it.
Yeah, I haven't either. I should, but I haven't.
The only thing it's the Cinnamon desktop. The only thing I don't like is the way they handle their vertical panels. The icons don't really take to it real good. So that's an issue. Their vertical panels.
Yeah, but that's a new setting though, right?
It is. Yeah, release. It is. That's the problem. Yeah, it's not mature enough, I think, is the problem.
Well, you're trying to make Cinnamon look like Unity. Is that what you're trying to do?
I do like the vertical. That's where I like Budgie. Budgie, you can, although Ubuntu Budgie comes with the what do you call it? The plank on the side. Mm-hmm. But that to create your own panels in Budgie is just awesome and easy. And
it is, Colin. But I noticed that the icons don't resize kind of like Plank. Like you can raise the panel width, but the icons don't go as big. They don't get scaled as big as you do with Plank at the same size. Yeah. So if you have a panel the same size as your Plank, the icons are going to be really small.
You mean like when you go over the icons in Plank? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no, I mean just the actual size of you looking at the icons in Plank. Mm-hmm. So if you have Plank, say it
panel, like the Plank panel, that resizes the icons with the panel.
Right. So if you resize the icons to 48 and then you try to make a budgie panel and you put it the same width as Plank, them icons are going to be smaller than Plank.
Oh, is that right?
Really small.
Yeah, they don't scale well to that.
They don't let you set an exact pixel for them.
Well,
you're actually resizing the panel and not resizing the icons.
The icons. Okay, I got you.
It's not only that, but Budgie's actually not quite true to the pixel size you set. It's actually like 5 pixels off.
That is ridiculous.
It was something
that does it. I'm switching to Arch.
Why didn't you tell me before I came here?
There's like
he's going to Fluxbox.
From what I understand, it has to do with like the shadow that they have there, and like I've like suggested that maybe it should like properly represent like the size of the panel itself, but like I was shot down and they took offense to that, so I just stopped caring.
Is that who were you talking to? Is that the Solus developers or
that was in Solus channel, and I don't know if like maybe people were just not having a good day or what, but like
you get that sometimes.
I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. I'm just gonna let it go. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just don't be bothered by those 5 pixels.
You should have had Rocco as backup, mate. You should have. You needed Rocco as backup when you were in there at that time.
Some people take it.
They're a pixel off.
Some people do take it personal when you criticize their baby. You know, hey, you know, your UI is all messed up. Here's how you need to fix it, and then they tell you to go jump and rotate.
You should have kept on going because this is not just a pixel off. This is 5 pixels off.
5 pixels. There we go.
That's a huge problem, dude.
Rocco's going to need counselling after hearing
I'm
this.
telling you, I got to find these 5 pixels because it's going to drive me insane.
Are you only talking vertical panels or horizontal or both? Are you talking vertical?
Oh, it's all of it. It's vertical and horizontal.
It's vertical and horizontal.
It has to do with like there's this like shadow, so like even if it's not visible, it's like apparently something you can't even see. But the way I first noticed it was like when I play games or when I launch like Windows, I actually like specifically set the size of the window, and it's like borderless, so it lines up perfectly with the panel, and there's no window buttons or anything.
Right.
But it was set to exactly the size I set it to. I had it like 28 pixels for the panel, but the window was bugging out at the top, and I didn't understand why. And then I set it. I kept trying. I set it up, and it didn't work. I set it down, and it didn't work. And then I set it even lower, and then it worked. So I was like, "It's 5 pixels, all right." So when I went in, I asked about why that was happening, and I was told that there's like this invisible like shadow layer. Not
But you can turn the shadow off in Budgie.
Yeah, but the panel thing still like it's still part of the.
Okay, yeah.
That's why
they are looking at changing to QT. Maybe that's why they're not bothering with it. Would that be?
That might fix it. I think it had to do something with like GTK, like shadow layer or something like that, some kind of. But yeah, that drove me crazy. I could not do that just because of how my workflow revolves around specifically setting the size of the window. I can't do that.
Now Rocco's not going to be able to unsee.
He's not.
You have ruined my night.
He was going to install. Rocco was going to go with Ubuntu Budgie 1804, and now there's no way. Now,
where's Dustin at? I got to talk to Dustin.
Pixels.
That's awesome.
Just goes to show my eye for pixels ain't real good, is it, Rocco?
We'll teach you, Colin. We'll teach you.
Budgie is a pretty great desktop, though. Like, there's a lot of great things about it. It's just, you know, I'm really looking forward. Like, I've seen some of the work that that Ike's been doing. Like, he'll post spoilers every now and then.
Yeah, it's great, except for the Telegram icon.
Well, at least you're able to get Telegram working. I actually, during this this stream right here, since you guys always talk about Telegram, I installed Telegram from the SID repos, and I can't get it to launch here in Antix, so it's a no-go for me. So
try the Flatpak.
You could just download it from the website.
If you check, like if you try and run it from the terminal, it'll tell you what's wrong. I've had issues with Telegram. There's a specific like dependency that it's wanted at times that I have found isn't actually like pre-installed in some distros.
Well, I installed from the repos. If there was a dependency issue, well, I don't know.
No. It should have, but I've had it not do it before.
So, Michael, how do we get around this saving to things in a Flatpak? Then you're saying that it should save, or
no? I think it was a snap, wasn't it?
It was a snap.
No,
you can do it in both.
Mine's a Flatpak, but it's not bringing up my data drive.
It should work in general, but it might not be built into whatever the individual Flatpak or snap. It's like it's technically possible in the format, but the individual developer has to do it.
Michael, there's a animal next to you.
Oh, yeah.
At least it's not a cat.
Sweet.
She's gigantic.
And looks lonely.
Yeah, she's
probably still thinks she's a lap dog.
She does.
I think she would take up more than the lap.
She would be taking up the entire chair Michael's sitting in.
Couch.
She's currently pushing me to turn, so if I let go, she's pushing me over.
So I have to say the Solus Software Center is coming up all right. It's looking pretty.
Yeah, it's looking.
Yeah,
nice.
The new version is really nice.
Yeah.
I haven't seen like actual pictures or videos of it, so.
Yeah, Solus.
Yeah, somebody should get on that, Rocco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Carl still trying Solus KDE? Carl, you still doing that?
Yep.
How's that working?
It's good. It's really good. It's been my daily driver for like a month now.
Okay.
What?
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's using a beta as his daily driver?
Well, you're testing it, right?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who would do that, right?
I'm testing it by using it all the time.
That's a
Who
good
would
way
do
to
this
do it.
insanity?
Well, it's a good way to support the community. Be a beta tester. That's noble. Yeah.
I've actually given up on like Solus KDE. Like I was like, I was like, I don't even use Plasma anymore. I'm just gonna like seed the torrents when they come out and just not bother.
English Bob is in the chat.
Yay!
Your first mistake was not using plasma chicken.
Your second mistake is still not.
Well,
using
you can't
plasma.
get plasma on elementary. It doesn't need it.
It doesn't need it.
I've also installed Unity 8 on elementary, and it works fine.
Wow.
I'm surprised your computer didn't blow up.
Actually,
Unity 8's actually nice.
Like, there's a misconception that you can't do a lot with Elemental, but in reality, like most of it is still Ubuntu.
No. I was referring to when you installed the Unity 8. Not.
Oh yeah. No, like the desktop itself, Unity 8 was a nightmare. Like there's good things about it, and there's terrible things about it. Like the window buttons being so tiny that like it looks like they just scaled up like a phone image. But
That's literally what that is.
like in terms of yeah, exactly. But yeah.
Unity 8 has a lot of potential, though.
Well, it does. Yeah.
It's exciting.
It still does technically because UB ports.
It
Unity 8 had a lot of potential. Then it didn't. Then someone else picked it up, and it still kind of didn't because it didn't really do anything. Then UB ports got it, and now it has potential again.
But I thought UB ports was where we send things to die.
No, what do you mean?
I'm just joking. I use,
like, what are you talking about? How dare you?
Everything will be fine as long as Unity 7 is still around. So
it's not.
UB ports is doing some great work. Like honestly, like they've come a pretty far away.
Yeah, the Ubuntu Touch that they're doing is really good because they're upgrading it to 1604.
Yeah,
so like
that's
they already
hard too. Like,
yeah, they've already done a lot of work.
It's on 1504, wasn't it?
Yeah, they updated it to 1504, I think.
Yeah.
And they still have to update it again, but they've done a lot of work. I like a lot of the stuff they're doing. The fact that they're picking up the work that Unit made instead of just abandoning it. They're not forking the initial Unity 8. They forked the Unit version. So like that's like they had a partnership with Unit and said, "Hey, will you take it over?" And they did that. So that's a really good way to take it.
But if you guys want memes, go into the Unit chat because it hasn't been deleted yet. So you can. It's just a meme fest now. There you go.
So it's like watching one of Michael's live streams where it's just a bunch of memes and a bunch of puns all the time.
What?
That's only in the 4th hour, right?
In the 8th hour, you get
this. I actually did a very quick stream today. Thank you. It was 3 hours and 47 minutes.
That's definitely super quick.
That's pretty weak. Pretty weak.
That's quick for him.
In between wondering how much didn't get recorded because of the lag every so often, but it was okay.
Yeah, it turns out it didn't lag during the recording segment, so they're all good.
And it's those NVIDIA drivers and KDE. You got to watch that.
No, it was the YouTube. It was YouTube's fault.
They caused a lot of artifacts, NVIDIA drivers and KDE.
Well, Rocco, you live stream, right? We're live streaming right now, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Zeb live streams on Twitch and stuff.
Yeah.
Michael, you live stream obviously like
a
machine. No, the thing is, like, I get like at where I live, we don't have really good. Like, we've got great download speeds, but none of the infrastructure is going to even allow like upload speeds that are decent. Like, I don't even get 1 megabit up; it's 0.8.
Wow.
So I'm like, I've considered trying to use my phone because my phone gets like almost 20 megabits up, which is all right for like a decent. But the problem that I've had is that like while the connection is really fast, it's not very stable. Do you guys know of like any device? Like, is there something I can get? Like maybe put it on Ting or something. Like, is there like a device that would just allow me to like connect to my computer and just stream? Like
there's hotspots like MiFi's and stuff like that could do it.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Right?
I don't. It's the problem that it's like infrastructure that prevents you from having that fast upload speed. It's just that it's ESP regulated thing, totally. Because I have something like 12 megs up, and at the moment I can see from router that it can connect to the endpoint with something like 60 megs. Totally.
Oh, right. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently, unfortunately, despite not even having 1 meg up, I'm actually in one of the fastest residencies in the city from that provider. So I'm like, that's not looking good, but I don't want to go with like Cox because they have this stupid like cap limit of like how you. It's like I'm going to burn through that.
I heard the
think
cap.
You just hit that limit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't really like. I was just considering going with like, if I could, like a device. I'll check out Wi-Fi and things like that. I'll probably put it on. I think we have Ting where we are. I've heard good things about that.
The problem Ting's not a good option.
Don't like you to upload because torrents.
Yeah, well, Ting is not a good option if you're a data user.
$10 a gig.
It would just be for like upload, like just for like occasional streaming. Like I wouldn't use it for anything else.
Yeah, I would look for something else that's more data friendly.
I think there's
put it on my network, maybe if it's on.
I get 100 down and 10 up.
Yeah, my internet is not good, but is reliable. So I think that's the only reason I do it.
Chicken, check I think it's called the Calyx Institution. They have a lifetime, like unlimited. I use the term unlimited very loosely. Data thing with, I think it's Sprint for like a MiFi type device. So check that out. I think it's called the Calyx Institute.
Well.
Yeah. Sprint's actually a pretty good deal for unlimited as well.
Yeah. So you might want to check that out.
All right, because I have T-Mobile right now, and it's like the connection's great, but like through the phone, I'm not sure if it's just because, I mean, the way the phone handles, like, because I guess it's got to use that radio for not only itself but also passing it through to the other devices. So
most phones these days are like software radios.
Okay,
you don't have to worry about it. That's how a lot of phones can switch back and forth from GSM to CDMA and stuff like that.
Pretty clever stuff.
Yeah, like the Nexus devices are all typically like that.
I'll have to check those out. Thank you, guys.
Yep. But actually, check out Metro PCS.
And on that note, it's pumpkin time. It's pumpkin time.
Come on.
Last words.
You're weak. Come on.
No, I'm getting weak.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed, I almost fell asleep 3 times.
Yeah. Okay. So, Joe, last word.
Pumpkin Raspberry Pi 3 plus. Go for it. Try it. Under $100, you can't beat it. I mean, this is the kit.
Awesome.
$69. It's the entire kit. And I will be. By the way, side note, I will be getting another SD card to put Ubuntu Mate for Raspberry on this.
Are you buying it from Amazon?
Make sure you use the affiliate link. What's that affiliate link there, Michael?
Touchnews.com/.
No. I have an affiliate link here.
But what is it? What is it though? Do you know what it is?
We'll give it to him.
Okay.
I have an affiliate link. Thank you very much.
But he doesn't know off the top of his head.
I'll give it to him when he needs it. Matt, last word.
I love this mic. Not gonna lie.
Look who's in the chat first, Rocco. Take a look.
What?
Look who's in the chat. We thought so. We thought that's what happened.
I slept through the alarm. Oh my gosh.
Easy, you're getting a pay reduction.
Colin, last word, brother.
Zorin OS install and tweak week.
I have it installed, just so you know.
Okay. Barb? Still waiting for the perfect distro.
Not going to happen.
I know.
Derek.
One can hope.
Derek?
I'll still be running Antix next week on Debian Unstable, living the dream.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will. Yeah.
You heard
I'm going to stick it out for at least 2 weeks. At least.
Can you say that with a bit of rap? Can you?
No, that was a one-time thing. I've retired from the rap scene.
Yeah.
Michael, last word.
Touchdigital.com/Amazon.
Oh my God. Homer.
Oh, maybe distro hop this week. Maybe.
To what?
I don't know. That's the fun part.
All right, Jansu.
It was nice to see you at last.
Yeah,
So-
it was good having you, man. Are you going to wake up at 6 a.m. next week?
Oh, hell no. I'm cooking coffee. Brewing coffee.
Brewing
Yeah, that's
coffee.
all you need.
Good
Yeah.
idea.
Carl, you the man. Last word.
All right, Barb, your perfect distro is almost ready.
Oh, okay.
Solus KDE will be out soon. And I just want to note that Ike keeps adding nines to he just keeps it was 3.9, and it was 3.99. Now it's 3.999. And he's never going to get to 4.
Chicken, last word.
Well, I wanted to wait to bombshell you guys. I've actually switched 3 of my devices over to Manjaro Mate.
No, you haven't.
Oh.
I did.
We're gonna stop talking now.
I feel so hurt. Betrayed. That's it. Betrayed.
If it's any consolation, they're the 3 devices that are for communal use in the house. Okay, so
have fun supporting Arch. Or Arch-based distro.
Yeah.
That's a community edition too. That's not even one of the official Manjaro releases.
I don't like easy.
Yeah,
apparently not.
I don't like easy, but it's for other people who are not going to be messing with it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't like
that'll
easy,
never update the machine. Yeah,
but I like elementary.
I have 168 updates. Gotta go.
All right, so Zeb's last word was he slept through the alarm.
And my last word, I3.
My last word is, yeah, he could be, I guess. But my last word is check out Destination Linux Monday. New episode 63 coming out.
Who's going to be there, Rocco? Who's going to be there?
I can't tell you that.
Aww.
It's a super top secret.
Top secret.
Maybe somebody, maybe nobody. We'll have to wait and see. All right. So thanks for everybody showing up, and we'll see everybody next week.
All right. Peace, guys.
Bye.
Later.